I enjoyed the match, which, by the way, was a good match.
Yes.
I still feel like it should have been Chad Gable.
Well, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
And we don't care how you feel.
Let's talk about WrestleMania 40. Teddy, you and we did go back and forth a little bit. First of all, before we get to that, you went to WrestleCon this past weekend, so you're in the middle of all that craziness in Philadelphia. How was WrestleCon?
WrestleCon was outstanding, man. I was there for the whole 3 days, and I'm telling you, there had to be at least 15,000 people.
Wow.
Maybe 20,000, because Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, they had over 10,000 people that came and bought autographs and stuff from them, man. They had a line of people the whole 3 days. I mean, line outside the door. It's unbelievable. But that was just a great event. Had a chance to meet people, like we're always from all over the world that come for WrestleMania. But I think there were more people this time. There were fresh, brand new people that came, that really, this WrestleMania here really drew people out. And I would have to say, I think this is the best one that out of all of them that I've ever seen.
Let me ask you about the actual WrestleMania experience this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We're not going to go down the entire list because that's been done 1,000 times by the time you see Teddy and I don't want to do that. But I do want to get your thoughts, Teddy. What did you like and not like about WrestleMania? Any ups, downs? What did you think?
Well, there's some things, happened that a little bit I didn't like, but they were so minor. They were minor things. And I'm a guy like this, sometimes I think I'm just too picky. So, and so sometimes I might just be, something may not even be worth even talking about, but it to me, it felt like, but I think everything they had was really good there, man. I think this was just outstanding, to have all the outside people like Kelsey, the football playing guy come in that brought Snoop Dogg in and people like that. And these people here are not wrestling people, but for them to come in and perform, and do the stuff that they done and everything with, timing, everything was just great. Nobody screwed up nothing. I mean, that's just, it don't get no better than that.
I got to tell you, you just struck a memory in my head and I completely forgot about it until you said Snoop. But when Snoop was on commentary, I was rolling. That's language. So damn funny. He is just hilarious. They need to have him come on and do more commentary because he is so good at it. It's just entertaining.
And that's what I'm talking about. These people are not wrestling people. You know what I mean? And for them to come in and sit down and just fit right in there, that's incredible.
And
so
he's done that several times too, Teddy. Snoop has done several, even last year, was it, when he saved a bit, if I recall, because it was falling apart and Snoop stepped in and saved the entire bit.
Yeah.
Just incredible to me. I liked both nights, Teddy, but if I'm being completely honest, the first night I thought was weak. It started hot-ish. And it ended really well. The ending, I thought, was really well done. But everything else was just kind of there. Now, come Sunday night, man, somebody poured gasoline on the fire and that place lit up. And it was, I can't really think of much on Sunday night that I can say was wrong.
Yeah.
But I was disappointed in part by the Usos match. That was one thing that I really thought we would see just a real good match, probably the match of the weekend. Bad day at the office. That was not the match that I expected or anybody, because I've now seen online a lot of people saying it wasn't their best. Teddy, what'd you think?
Well, you know what I mean. I just didn't see anything wrong. I don't know what people are really talking about. I mean, what do you want the guys to do?
Well, I guess it was just maybe it was the people were saying, oh, there's too many super kicks, and it really just wasn't much action in it. It was more storytelling than action. I don't know. It fell flat for me. I know that, and it was just it was a shame because I was really hoping for that to be the best match. I kept thinking that's going to be the match, and maybe my expectations are the reason why.
Well, that's probably what it was. You were expecting too much.
Yep. Now I'm going to say something, and I don't know if this has been talked about or not, but on night number one, either the microphone for the audience wasn't working properly, or the cold was affecting the response of the fans. But they seemed dead. on Saturday night. They would pop up for a second or two, then go right back down. And I don't know if it's because I know it was really cold, because Michael Cole, meteorologist Michael Cole, told us that several times on the first night of the thing. It's so-and-so degrees out here with the wind chill. Maybe that has something to do with it. But on night number 2, I was so happy to see that crowd and hear that crowd, because on night number 1, you got to remember, when Cody Rhodes is in the ring, the fans aren't exactly inviting. They're not really cheering or anything. It's like, what the hell is going on? You can see it on his face, and you can see it on The Rock's face. Like, okay, what's happening? Why are we not getting responses here? Teddy, is the code something that can actually slow down a match or slow down the response from the fans?
I can't answer that. You know what I mean? Because there's some guys, man, if it be 0 degrees, that will bust their asses, okay? Tear the house down.
Yes.
So that's something I can't answer. I can't say whether cold had anything to do with it. Might have had something to do with the crowd, but I mean, these people here, they're used to that. They live in this cold climate, been living there all their lives. So I that's just something I can't answer. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I just it was just really odd, and I'm just going to chalk it up to maybe the weather had a lot to do with what was going on.
Yeah, you worry too much.
No, it was just odd to me, because it just seemed that's why that show fell flat to me, because the audience wasn't involved. It was just so quiet. It was like, that's weird to me.
Well, it was pretty windy and cold there that first night. Now I was there.
Oh yeah. Well, if you watched the pay-per-view, of course, you had meteorologist Michael Cole tell you that about 100 times on the first.
Well, why do you keep calling him a meteorologist?
Because he.
For what? Why?
Did you go back and watch the show?
No, he's not a meteorologist.
I know he's not.
He's a broadcast journalist.
He kept giving.
You just want to pick at him.
He kept giving the weather forecast the entire show.
So that made him a meteorologist.
I love it when you give me. All right, we got time for just one more thing here, Teddy. I want to bring up Gunther versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn winning, finally dethroning. Now, see, you liked it. I enjoyed the match, which, by the way, was a good match.
Yes.
I still feel like it should have been Chad Gable.
Well, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
And we don't care how you feel.
Neither does Sammy. Neither does Sammy.
Right.
Let me just mention this, though. Gunther, during his time as champion, wrestled names, and I want you to hear these names, because this is where I get kind of lost with Sami Zayn, really. All right, these are the guys that he went up against in title confrontations. Matt Riddle, The Miz, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Braun Strowman, Kofi Kingston, Sheamus, Shinsuke Nakamura, Chad Gable, I just mentioned a moment ago, Jey Uso, and even Bronson Reed all failed to dethrone Gunther. So how does Sammy fit into some of these names? Some of these names are massive, and they couldn't beat him.
Don't mean nothing. They're just a name.
So it's just every dog's got his day.
Right. Right. They're just a name. Okay, Superman was just a name, but Kryptonite put him down.
And I got to say, too, I think Gunther's original play for the WrestleMania pay-per-view was supposed to be Brock Lesnar. I have a feeling that's where they were going to go, and it just didn't happen. So they had to kind of backtrack and do something really fast, which is why the story came together the way it did. But I would have loved to have seen those two behemoths going against each other, because I like seeing some of these big, strong guys just beat the hell out of one another. And they would have done it. I mean, because we've seen those matches in the past at WrestleMania where they beat the crap out of one another.
Well, you see, the reason you love that so much, because you got that fetish.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're not only just looking at them beat up each other. There's something else going on too with you while all that's going on.
No, look here. You're going to start these things on me now. All right, Teddy, we're out of time. By the way, again, we're sorry that if you popped in here to see Bill, what's his name? Bill who? Bill, I can't remember. Anyhow, that guy with the comb over went to go get a haircut. That guy, yeah.
Can you believe? Can you believe Bill Apter? Now he misses this whole broadcast, the whole show, just to go get a haircut.
And he ain't
the
got
guy
no hair.
has no hair. He has a little bit going right here. What? I can't believe he took off to go get a haircut. Now you talk about prima donna.
Now let me ask you something, Teddy. He doesn't want to cut that comb over because that's his trademark. The only problem is a lot of the viewers always complain that he wears a hat on the show. You never see the top of his head.
Hey, Bill, after we miss you, man, I hope you get a haircut and try to make it back next week.
All right, I'm Mac Davis, and that is WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. And this has been the Wrestling Time Machine by Sportskeeda. We'll see you next week.
Holla.